I got my bale processor, my 8610 on. Got my co-pilot. Dad, I guess I'll flip your guys around. Dad has supposedly, well, they're supposed to be coming today, bought, I don't know, 60, 65 steers or something like that. 5 1/4 weights. He supposedly bought them, I don't know, on Kijiji or something. Anyhow, there's a load coming today for them, or not a half, there's a split load, I guess. I told him I could go run and get them, and he said that part of the deal was that the heifers are going somewhere and they can just split the load, and the steers would come to him. But they're just lightweight steers, so we're gonna go and put hay in the silage feeders, because these calves supposedly are preconditioned, but still they've never had silage. They've just been, well, according to the story, they've been weaned on the ranch. Well, I just hit the panel. It's got a spring-loaded thing here, but I still bumped the panel with it. Tristan's gonna go push the panel out of my way. But, no, just that one over there. But Dad had put a chute over here where the squeeze was, so I gotta drive around it. And then we loaded out of there. That's just where his blacks were when we got them loaded. So, anyhow, bumpity. So I'm gonna blow some hay into these feeders. I'm gonna bring you out because I left my co-pilot holding the gate. So hold on, and I'll show you again a little bit when I get set up. So last year I had my slip clutch burn up when I got a piece of sugar beet, or a beet chain, like a straight bar of steel that blocked. I burned my slip clutch up. But with dry hay I can still grind it, but I've already had the slip clutch go once, so now I'm just nursing it along. So I just pull ahead, and then this is actually reverse for this, but this hay is so dry it's just fine in reverse. And I'm okay with slobbering it all over, because the whole idea is that these new calves find out where to eat from, so I'm not worried about waste. I'm worried about them getting their bellies full, and they'll learn where silage is too, and what silage is. So I got that one to do, and that one, and if Tristan comes, I'll have him shoot some video and you can watch. So like I said, this is a really awfully dry bale, which is fine but you can see how stemmy and shitty it looks. It doesn't look beautiful by any means. So all it does is it just breaks this shit up, and it just has just like a big hammer mill in there almost, but there's no, you can put up blades. But all I'm trying to do is Dad's already put silage in this, and so then I'm just putting hay on top, and when they eat the hay down, then they'll find the silage. And like I said, I just threw a little on every end, and I just got to get turned around and go to the next one. So anyhow, I don't know how noisy it was, but Tristan was nice enough to hold things up. But you can see that we're freezing right now, but we're still, it's pretty mucky here. So we'll end up having to haul the calves over here in the stock trailer. Well, this big feeder, we put silage in it too normally, but we'll put hay in for these new calves, get them all started here anyway. So see you guys in a bit. Well, the cattle got here, this is the 6th of December, I believe. So the 5th is when I was putting this hay out on, put some on the ground, put some there on the silage and everything. So the cattle got here, and the deal was they came from a ranch at Milk River, and this is the guy's entire steer crop, is what I've been told. And Dad didn't buy it directly from him, but through a cattle buyer, a local cattle buyer that deals with, you know, millions and millions a head a year. But not everything was on the up and up, because these were all supposed to be red steers, and with what there was supposed to be one yellow steer, and there was supposed to be one Herefordy looking steer. Other than that, they were supposed to all be red steers. As you can see, there's plenty with white faces, and there's half a dozen. You can see by the water there's a yellow steer. There's about 3 yellow steers, there's half a dozen blacks, and there's a bunch of brockle faces and white faces. But they're gonna gain weight, and that's what Dad wants to do, so the price is gonna get adjusted on them. They weigh what they are supposed to weigh. They weigh 5 1/4, but like I said, they aren't exactly what was promised. But you can see there some pretty doggy ones in there. Nothing too fantastic. Like I said, you can tell the guy doesn't use really good bulls. But if yesterday afternoon they showed up, and then Tristan, Dad, and I branded them all, and I don't, let's see if we can zoom in. There's a brand on that left hip, and that is called a feeders brand. And so that brand marks a feeders co-op that we belong to, and that's a finance company. And you put that brand on the cattle, and these low, and then you borrow you pay 5% of what the cattle are worth to the co-op, and then they put a lien on the cattle, and then you put their brand on the location that you've selected, and then they lend you the money on the cattle for 1 calendar year. You get, this is how long your loan is for. And then like on my case, if I breed the cattle, or like Dad did, then you have to have them sold before December, before the end of December, because around here everything calves in the new year to summer, and the feeders co-op does not want to be, there is breeding co-ops where you can be a part of a breeding co-op, but like I said, with the feeders, they don't want to deal with bred cattle, so it's mainly just to feed cattle. But the government does guarantee some of the loan, and then you buy guarantee from the bank through the co-op. The co-op buys guarantee, and the co-op that we're involved in is just a small one. And so, like, I think last year they were only like $12 million worth of cattle, where there's some closer to Feedlot Alley where they're lending $100 million. But like I said, the feeder co-op is meant for people feeding small numbers of cattle. Like the biggest loan you can get is $1 million. So it's not meant for the guy that is feeding 100,000 head. It's meant for smaller people. It helps them out, and then they take a lien on the cattle. I mean, if you ever went broke and didn't pay for anything and the cattle market went to hell, they would come after you. But the only thing they have legal lien on is the cattle. That's the only security they take is cattle. But you got to be a landowner or have a lease on land, and then you can buy cattle. But like I said, they weren't, like, I wanted to show branding them, but we had 40-mile-an-hour winds, so that didn't quite work. But like I said, as far as a group of steers to feed, they're not bad. It's just, it wasn't what they were supposed to be. Like I said, there's plenty of white faces, and there was supposed to be one white face and one yellow, and the rest were all supposed to be red. But it looks like we got a sore eye calf there eating hay, and like I said, there's a bunch of crop-eared calves, and there's a black one here at the end that's the crop-eared. He kind of took a run at me when we were branding. So anyhow, like I said, they're not a fancy set of steers, but we'll feed them. They're 5 1/4 weights now, and we'll feed them till 750. We'll see how they gain. We're not interested in feeding them out. We're only interested in selling silage through them. So we will not feed them out, but we might sell some as grass cattle, and then some to finishing. If you split off all the little ones in the spring and sell for grass, and then sell the other ones ready to finish. But we'll see how they grow. If they start doing really well and they're gaining plenty, we'll just keep feeding them until they're ready to go to finish. But depending on what the market is like in the spring. So anyhow, I better turn so that we don't get blinded by the sun. So anyhow, I thought I should at least shoot a video of what we're doing, and that's kind of the whole name of the game. So like I said, we branded these guys yesterday afternoon until dark, but it was windy, so I couldn't show you that. And then I had to take Wyatt and Jessica to the orthodontist, so I couldn't show you hauling them over. But Dad and Tristan hauled them all over with the stock trailer. So Tristan did really good. He backed up Dad to the chute each time, and he said they never hit it once, so that's pretty good. So anyhow, they got her done. So be sure to comment, rate, and subscribe, and have yourselves a great day. Take care.